Right, welcome back. Slightly late starting as we were discussing, discussing the fight against the Tarrasque.
How awful the Tarrasque is.
It would be for you. But we won't be seeing one of those today, unless I get really annoyed about something or other. So
I'll be good, I promise.
I think you guys are safe. Well, safe from Tarrasques anyway. A brief recap. Last time, you, by the skin of your teeth, made it out of the underground temple, with it collapsing around your ears. Oh no.
Just let it ring.
Oops, that's my phone.
Was the Tarrasque calling you? Like, who the fuck's chatting?
Oh dear.
You want that? I'll give it.
So, by the skin of your teeth, you made it out of the underground temple. And through a certain amount of good skill and good planning as well, to avoid some of the dangers, even if it did slow you down a little bit. I think everyone at some point was rendered unconscious, but through the tenacity and loyalty of their friends, was brought back and all escaped physically unscathed. How you all feel about temples under the water is entirely up to you.
Don't like him.
Again.
Each to their own. You travelled on your journeys, eventually making it to the Orc home city of Hengistforsa. Guided by Ivan, you stopped on the way to make some purchases and things, meeting a lovely pair of twin sisters who ran a blacksmith's. Six, you inquired about some magical armour, which is potentially in the works, but decided not to make any purchases just yet, as you were saving your coin for any potentially expensive restorative spells for Neo, which was the reason you were here. You were escorted at your request to see the High Priestess of all the Orcs, an Orc by the name of Zinda Farsight, and were teleported from the ground up to one of these floating, fractured, splintered bits of rock that dominate the area, floating around. On top of one of them, a rock called Sky, you learned, there appeared to be a huge greenhouse growing various peppers and things like that. Styx decided to try one and didn't go very well for him, as he ate quite a spicy chili. He felt that one on the way in and possibly on the way out. But yes, you met Zinda, and she listened to everything you had to say about Neo, about how you discovered him, what potentially has caused his memory loss, and came to the conclusion that the resurrection spell cast upon him was not yet complete, and so that was why his mind was suffering. She also concluded that it was quite lucky that it was only his memory that was not brought back with him. She revealed that a potential path, the most likely path available to you, is that if Neo were to be brought back properly, it would be more successful. And so it was reveal that Neo has to die once more to live again.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
And this is where we dive right in. You had all asked Neo what he wanted to do, and he'd taken some time to compose his thoughts and agreed to your plan. Still, with the slight stipulation that he was very eager he would rather not lose what he's gained than gain back what he's lost.
I'm gonna cry if he loses his memory. Oh,
We kill
no.
him. He was evil. We have to kill him again. My lord.
Hurriedly rewrites entire backstory for the emotional impact that would have.
I'm sorry,
That'd
are
be
you trying to kill me in real life?
Yes,
Shatter my heart.
Oh.
so this is where you find yourself standing in this warm, sunlit greenhouse surrounded by leafy plants, a few beehives surveyed in front of you, and the soft buzzing of bees, the only sound as everyone quietly ponders what they would have to do.
This is awkward. So, Neil, I guess there's you never really get asked this in life. How would you like to die, buddy?
I mean, well, as painlessly as possible.
As painlessly as possible. Okay. Stay away from Arwen.
How rude!
I'm joking. Painlessly as possible. Is that just like what they do to them cows? Sort of. Chink, the back of the. Just kind of like.
I mean, unless you want to invent the bolt gun in D&D.
I'm not saying a bolt gun. I'm saying some people have daggers. I can turn my sword into a hammer. Just a little.
Well, assuming it's the one back, because you probably.
Oh yeah,
no. It's going to leave holes in his body.
Yeah, and probably not like wreck his brain. Good.
Yeah, that would be a bit
point.
awkward.
Good point there. How to kill a man without hurting a man. This is not my speciality, I must admit. Is there like a... Drowning him would be horrible. Yeah, but that'll hurt him. That'll be so terrible.
I mean, he's dying. Something's going to hurt.
He said painlessly as possible.
He needs to go to
Wait.
sleep.
Maybe we could just, like, shuffle.
If we just like drug him, make a really nice meal and just sort of drug him.
You want to go down the path of poison?
Actually, no, because poison always turns out to hurt, doesn't it? What if you had a decent idea? What if we just sort of like get him in a sleep kind of thing? You know,
I didn't say that.
you pass him. If someone said he needs to go to sleep, so what if we put him to sleep and it's all nice, and then we get a pillow and just.
That's so violent.
Or Or why don't we just like think of him asleep and just snap his neck? It's
broken neck.
painless. It's painless.
But what if he
Back
wakes
alive,
up
I'm sure that.
with the injury?
Then that is the thing. If this woman could bring a man back to life, I think a broken neck is that.
Well, I believe the spell
Yeah,
you
you have-
elected to go for was Resurrection, which neutralizes any poisons, cures normal diseases. It doesn't remove magical diseases, curses, and the like. And if such effects aren't removed prior to casting the spell, they afflict the target on its return to life. The spell closes all mortal wounds, restores any missing body parts, and then there's a penalty for coming back to the dead.
Would we know the penalty, or would she know? Would Thingy know the penalty?
Oh yeah. The penalty is more, material in terms of game mechanics.
Oh.
Yeah. Because you get a -4 to all attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks. That reduces by 1 until it disappears every time you take a long rest.
Okay. We could just do that, send him to sleep, and then sort of wait till he's lying on his side, and then just.
I forgot, which annoys me because this would be very helpful in combat. I have a spell called Sleep.
Why don't? I mean, this could be the. Why don't we just let him sleep on his own accord?
Well,
Because this way we can be more sure.
with
It's like a
either
magical-
natural sleep or the sleep spell, I believe the target would wake up upon taking damage.
They would. Not if, however, that damage immediately killed them.
Do you have a way to inflict enough damage to immediately kill him?
Yes.
Oh god. Do you?
If we all attacked at once, like, we don't want to harm him.
Yeah.
So
Just
I
get my
think, like-
get my sword, right? And then when he's asleep, just sort of tap it to the side of his head, and then Divine Smite level 2.
So that would be
Another
4d8. Or 3d8.
Plus- no, that'd be 3d8 plus my sword. And now I'm assuming that because he's asleep, and I'm literally going up to his head and slamming down on it. Would that be a
It's
crit?
gonna hit.
I mean, it's definitely going to hit. I feel like I'm not worried about that.
Yeah,
And
melee
if-
attacking against a prone creature, I believe, is a crit automatically. Or
Melee
if he's
attack
asleep,
against-
he'd be unconscious. Sorry, so it's an advantage on a prone
melee-
creature.
Certain
If
creatures.
If they're unconscious, then it's automatically a crit.
Yeah.
So your 3d6 becomes 6d6.
66
Mm-hmm.
plus
Sorry, 68. Which has a
68
maximum damage of 48. Neo currently has
Plus-
57 hit points.
Oh
Fuck.
my god, Neo.
None of this is going in.
Not making this easy for us, Neo.
No.
I still think that smothering him with a pillow or something should be
Yeah, smothering it with a pillow
And
probably
he's
be the way to do it.
I think at this point, having this discussion going on for some time,
Dark discussion.
and having watched the whole thing, Zinda will sort of chime in. Did you notice there are a number of potions and concoctions that will put someone that will kill painlessly?
Kill painlessly. Ah, I didn't know that.
The victim usually just starts by drifting off to sleep and then does not wake up.
Zinda, please do not call my friend a victim. He is our friend. He's not a bad man.
Where could we acquire such? I'm assuming this isn't the kind of thing just sort of on the streets, as it were.
Well, the ingredients are exotic, but they can be made.
Acorns from the forest.
Okay. Sure.
What
Let's.
exotic thing?
What? Yeah.
Well, she can give you a list of ingredients, and you can go out and try and source them.
We can pop off to the market and have a look. Yeah, right. That seems like a pretty good option. Yeah.
Okay. Well, she walks you back over to the teleportation circle. And as you're all arrayed inside it, she just briefly pauses and her expression sort of goes blank and her head turns to the side very slightly. It's almost like, even though her eyes are milky and white and blind, the entire time you've been interacting with her, there is this intense look on her face, as if she's engaging you and can see you. And now, for the first time, she seems to be staring off blankly into space with sightless eyes, as if she's looking at something else. This happens for a brief moment, and then just snaps back to herself. Sorry, my apologies. Just one moment. And then you hear her sort of muster a spell, and out loud she delivers a message to Rashi, the Castellan of the main fortress down below. The gist of which is there are giants approaching, and to organise the usual forces to deter them. She'll sort of say to you that we have more and more frequently of late we have had some trouble with bothersome giants. They wander our way, are generally destructive brutes, but we try to turn them back so that they leave peacefully. If possible. It is not always possible. It is not too much to worry about. A group will be set out to deal with it.
I mean,
Okay.
if the place we could go, but obviously let's sort our friend out first.
Yeah.
If you wish to go, then yes, just speak to Rashi when you get back to the castle, and he will give you all the information you require.
Okay. So about these ingredients, then, is that just some like we can just? Do you know if they would be within Angus Fossa?
Yes, the apothecary should contain most of them. commodities, a number of roots and herbs and things like that. Not too difficult to come across, but there are a couple of exotic ingredients. And she will hand you a piece of paper with a list written on it.
Shopping list.
Let's go shopping!
Woohoo!
Alright.
Yeah. So, you all stand there waiting to teleport, and she casts the words, and the circle lights up. And again, there is this sensation of dropping suddenly down through the earth, only to pop back up again. The temperature is much colder when you emerge back in the castle, awaiting his rush. He seems to have been standing guard, what have you, but he doesn't seem to be paying you attention at the moment. He's muttering, and sort of jet pointing out, as if and you can hear him muttering sort of a sentence or two, and you catch him delivering sort of the end of a message. A message from dinner, send the giant incoming, send the group. And it's the general gist you pick up on.
Okay.
Cool.
Hi, Rishi. We got a big list of ingredients here. Do you have any idea where we can get some of these?
It'll take a bit of you. Have a look. Just like, these are mostly common. Some of these are a little bit pricey. There's a few on there, sort of like the body parts of some slightly more exotic monsters.
Oh god, can you imagine if we've sold basilisk stuff and then it's part of this potion thing?
Like, Clary, can you steal them back? I joke.
There are a number of shops in town that will probably be able to help you. Sort of look, like, pauses for and reads the list. It's like, did Zina write this?
She did.
Yeah,
Yes.
why?
Well, these are the ingredients of a rather unpleasant poison.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's for our friend here, Neo. Unfortunately, he has some issues. He was resurrected a little while in battle by a great cleric. But unfortunately, this cleric did it wrong. So we're now going to have the poison to kill him again and then bring him back to life. And then it should be fine.
As you do.
As you do, on your regular Wednesday.
So what did you mean by bad poison though?
Yeah, what do you mean by unpleasant poison?
Well, this is a poison that is generally unpleasant to.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like an irreversible poison.
Not that I know of.
Okay. I thought it. Just making sure. I got scared. I'm panicking.
Alright. To the shops.
Yeah, so you guys make your way back down. It takes you sort of a good hour or so to walk all the way back down to the waterfront where the majority of commerce seems to be. But you can start looking around. Make an investigation check for me.
All of us?
Investigate.
Well, anyone can try to look for the shops.
Arwen's a bit busy looking at Neo.
Just staring at him. Commit his face to memory.
Just in case.
Okay, so 15 from 6.
The guy without any modifiers.
It takes you a little while, but you do find a number of apothecary-looking shops.
That sounds promising.
Have your pick of the bunch. Enter one of them as you will. Are you looking to try and get all the ingredients in one place, or are you going to space them out?
I'm gonna say yes. Try and get all the ingredients one place. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Got this.
Yeah, you enter. There is a very old, not exactly old, sort of certainly past middle age looking orc woman, sort of greying hair, tied up quite tightly in a tight ponytail. Has quite long robes on, but the sleeves of which have been bound in strips of leather to hold them tightly to the arms, so that they don't, so there's no sort of sagging sleeves or anything like that. He's sitting behind the counter, holding what looks to be a toad in her hand, studying it quite intensely while making notes in a book.
Hello, lady. Do you take adventure discount cards?
If such a thing did exist, then I would surely know about it, but I do not believe it does so.
Well, do we really have an adventurer discount card? Is that a thing you actually have?
Why not? Arwen writes on a bit of paper. She's not very good at spelling, though. She doesn't know how to write. She was not educated.
Hello. We need everything on this here list. And before you ask, because I know it makes something kind of ghastly, it's for this man right here. Now, is this or is this?
The silence.
Just sort of takes a list and gives you a weird look. Just has a quick read and it says, yes, I see what this would create. Has a looks up at you all, looks over you all and goes, yes, I think it's telling the truth.
Excellent.
Like takes the toad in her hand and gets a little glass, lifts the lid off the glass tank and drops it inside.
I'll look after it while you're doing stuff.
Oh no, he's quite alright in there, thank you very much.
I want a toad.
Any animal. Any animal. Owen's just in there. Yeah, it's
Mine.
So, looking at
Can't
this,
speak with animals.
gets out her quill and sort of scratching out things. Yes. Making little notes. Tosses it, hands it back to you and says, it'll cost this much. Now, speak with animals.
Yeah. Hi, Toad. Yay, alright.
Mirror tank.
Oh, would you like to be let out of the tank?
Yeah,
Oh, are you good in there?
sure.
Oh, I like him. I continue to talk to the toad while things are going on.
So Owen is having a very intense discussion with a toad, while Six deals with the shopkeeper. So he has
This
back
is
on the
fun.
list, and everything's been sort of broken down. There are a couple of alterations to the list, where she has sort of crossed out sort of root of ginger and put in root of blah 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 in its place. So,
What? Why? What's with the changes? This was made specifically to be for my friend. What are the changes meant to be for?
I know.
He's having a stroke. What's going here?
I know specifically what this creates, and it's well, this will this is an improvement point, shall we say?
Ooh.
Yes. This originally is a very bitter, and while it is supposedly painless, it is a very fast-acting poison. Does not give the target enough time to enter the drowsy stage, sometimes, which can lead to significant discomfort. If you are looking to alleviate the suffering of your dear friend here, then you will want to use my recipe.
Can I make an insight check?
Yeah, go for it.
See how she's sort of. Why, thanks, Mrs. Why, thanks, ma'am. That's so mighty kind of you. I know
Gee.
nothing of this.
So she presents some very. She goes on for more details and starts to explain some quite. And you get a 15 to 20 minute lecture on the ins and outs of detailed herb lore.
Oh, yay.
In some, well, only pertaining to a few of the brief herbs that she has adjusted, and things like that. At the end of which you are all thoroughly confused in its complexity, but thoroughly convinced that this woman knows what she's talking about.
Can I ask the frog if she's a nice lady?
Don't know.
You don't know? Does she... Okay, does she seem to be doing evil things?
I'm a frog. I'm a toad.
Oh, sorry, you're a toad. Sorry, sir.
I mean, you fed me flies.
So that's good?
I like flies.
Oh.
This is my favourite NPC ever.
Oh, I like the toad. Okay, thank you, Toad.
Okay, so Owen, you have thought none of what's gone on as you have been engrossed with the toad.
Yes.
And he has given you his complete life story at your behest from tadpole to toad. Including a rather graphic description of a particularly amorous mating season.
Oh.
Owen!
Yes. Well,
Anything useful?
when I tell you what I found out.
Fantastic.
So when a mummy toad and a daddy toad love each other very much.
Clary, what are you thinking? You're thinking that this is...
I don't see why she would lie to us.
Yeah. We're not orcs for a start.
That's true. What's your...
Fuck it.
We could always
What's
ask
the worst Hey,
that guy on the way back in.
Rishi.
Yeah, that one.
Rishi.
Yeah.
We could ask him? Yeah? I mean, okay. How's about this? Why don't we just buy these ingredients, take it up, see what she says, and then go from there. Otherwise, I would come back down.
I have an idea.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are these ingredients that she's suggesting to us more expensive than the original ingredients we were looking for? Is she trying to con us
That's a very
out of our
good
money?
point.
Oh!
Do you ask her this directly, or is this just something you think to yourself?
I'm gonna ask her, but like politely, not like I'm accusing her. Still.
Okay.
What's the difference in price between these ingredients?
There's much of a muchness. This one's more expensive, this one is cheaper than this one. I mean, if you want to work it out, you can take the list and it's all in the, have a look at the jars. They've all got the prices labelled on them. And you can see there are numerous jars scattered around the walls, like on shelves of things.
It's time to do some math. Yeah, I'd like to work this out because I think Clary's onto something.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it more? Do I have to make a check?
I mean, I do want to say make it just a straight intelligence check to do basic math.
My specialty. 9. Oh, please, Clary, do better. No, it's intelligence. They're already good at.
Ooh!
It works
Somebody
out.
can.
It works out to be 5 copper cheaper.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Cool. I have full faith in this woman. Well, let's buy this stuff.
Okay. So the total of all the ingredients comes to 27 gold.
27 gold. Chop change.
As there are a couple of more exotic parts in there.
Chop. Oh, that's Clary's. That's why I couldn't find it. Chop change. 27 gold. That's 455,435.
Okay.
Gold.
So
Cool.
it takes a little bit of time, but she goes around sort of scooping things out of jars and putting them in little brown paper bags and twisting up the corners and rolling them up so that nothing falls out and things like that. And
This is like old-fashioned sweet shops.
yeah, like proper.
Okay.
And there are there's a couple of things that are in sort of pickling brine and things like that she like gets big long tongs and like scoops out one and puts it in a very small little jar. She actually has sitting on the counter is one of these big sort of urn-sized jars with lots and lots of little jars inside. So it's a jars full of jars. And when you
Nice.
shake
A
it,
jar.
jar jar clinks.
Can slap a god. Can you do that? Can you like slap?
No.
I saw an opportunity and I went for it.
No.
You make me sad.
So, over time, a small pile of jars and packages
Oh.
appears on the counter as she sorts everything out for you. You pay for it and she sends you on your way. Sort of almost sort of dismissing you as job done. At which point she reaches under the counter and grabs 2 enormous knitting needles. These things are like 30 inches long each. They're like the size of swords almost. But very long and thin, and is like pulls out like half a scarf and proceeds to just knit with these enormous like knitting needles. Just, I don't know how to knit, I can't mime knitting.
That's lovely. I would do the same.
Yeah. I'm sure that's how you do it. Cool. Back
Bye,
to Sky.
Frog. Toad. Really nice to meet you.
How long does Speak of Animals last?
Hold on.
I think it's only 10 minutes.
There it is. 10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
That can't have taken 10 minutes.
It's smaller at this point. She gave you a 20-minute in-depth discussion on herb lore, so yeah.
Okay.
Unless you want to cast it again, you can't speak with the tongue.
Okay, I'll just wave at it goodbye.
Doesn't respond in a noticeable way.
It doesn't wave back! This is
Look
so
what you did,
heartbreaking.
Look what you've done.
How many times will I cry in this session? Let's take a guess. Don't even start.
The point.
So you're walking back down the street with all your various packages and ingredients and what have you. As you're doing so, Styx, can you make me a wisdom saving throw, please?
What did you touch in there?
12.
I
Okay.
didn't do anything, I swear.
Okay.
Oh god. I'm worried. I'm so worried. Oh, I don't like it.
So you continue walking.
You know, it's the only other dying today.
Are you heading back to straight back, or is there anything else you'd like to do in the meantime?
I think go straight back.
I don't know. I've made a save. Like I haven't felt anything.
You have stumped him.
No. Due to the nature of this
Darn.
spell, I don't believe you do.
This spell. Oh fuck.
Oh, we're all gonna die.
We are dead.
Oh shit.
Alright.
It
I
takes
guess
you
head strip.
a further hour. It's now pretty late in the day, I believe, as you spent a good few hours walking up and down from the castle, having arrived in the afternoon in the city, I think it was. The sky is no longer this bright blue, it's starting to just turn a hazy darkness as the sun begins to dip down. But you make your way through the city. It's not a hard journey to make. The sun guiding your way, so to speak, as you head inland and head west. I think it's west.
Oh, that for.
Yeah, I think it's west. Yeah, I think your picture's reversed. But yes, head inland. It takes you another hour. Again, there doesn't seem to be many. There's no significant guard barring your way when you reach the castle. So you can enter freely. As you will.
Nice.
Yeah. You
they have
lost
gone.
half the party.
Oh, and runs back to the toad. Well, no one's here.
So this Tarasca.
Sorry about that. Back on the phone's internet.
Okay. So you've made it back to the castle.
Yes.
It is not heavily fortified or guarded. It doesn't seem to be anyone, significantly barring any sort of entryway or anything like that. So you'll gain access freely and can make your way through.
Yes.
There is a slightly harassed-looking Reshi is sort of pacing backwards and forwards in this courtyard. Sort of looks up at the sound of your approach, hopefully, and then is almost disappointed when you're not the people he was expecting.
Oh, I'm so sorry to disappoint. My face is a blessing.
Yes, sorry. I was hoping for someone else.
Hi, Reshi. Who are you hoping for?
I was hoping for one of the scouts we sent out earlier. They have not returned and not made contact.
For these giants.
Yes. I mean, it is not out of the ordinary for these things to take a little bit of time, but normally they are quite close, and given the proximity, it should not take them too long to get there, do the job, and get back again. Or at least for someone to send word of them.
Tell the giants to wait like an hour, and then we will deal with them.
I don't know, this could take longer than an hour. I mean,
Tell the giants not to invade for at least 2 hours, and then we will come and deal with them.
Well, it's not so much an invasion, it is more just the errant giant or two wanders around from time to time, and we like to keep them away from everyone and encourage them
Okay, so they're not actually...
encourage them to go somewhere else.
Leave?
Yes, exactly. So that no one wanders across their path and meets an unfortunate end.
Oh no. It would be unfortunate to get squished.
it would be.
Indeed.
Well, if you need any help, we'll be Up in the greenhouse. Like,
The greenhouse.
well, we're gonna. If you need help, contact us. We'll be fine. Let's go.
Yes, of course. You have Zinda has requested you be allowed to come back in. So I will take your place in the circle, and I will send you back to Sky.
Woohoo!
So you take your place in the circle once more. Ricky starts casting, and in short order, again, this discomforting feeling of suddenly dropping down into the ground very quickly, only to rise up again. Rise up out of a sort of swirl of blackness. Find yourself standing again in the greenhouse. It's a little bit. It's much warmer than being down on the ground, but it is certainly cooler than when you were in here before. Being so high in the sky, you can see off to the west a quite impressive sunset that is hidden from everyone else down below, as the sun has already sunk for them.
Okay.
The greenhouse has been currently bathed in these early evening golden rays.
Oh,
Pretty.
pretty. Neo, do you like the sunset?
Oh no, I'm gonna cry.
You know, as much as the next man, I suppose.
Death at dawn. Or is it dusk?
Dusk.
Dusk.
Yeah, it's dusk. Death at dusk. Oh, that's a name.
Say that. 10 times fast.
Death at dusk. Death at dusk. Death at Alright. Alright. Zinda, we're back. We have stuff. She made some changes to the original list. Will this do?
Zinda will take a look at the piece of paper and just sort of immediately, like, just glance at it and goes, oh. I know exactly who you're meant to see. Yes, this will all be fine. She certainly knows what she's doing. She's just irritating.
Lovely.
That's hilarious.
But yes, see, the woman you went to see, she is beyond accomplished. So if she has recommended these changes, then they will only be for the good.
Okay. Cool. In which case, let's get the show on the road, shall we?
Okay. So, you might as well stay where you are. We will not do this here. And she steps into the circle with you, waving her hands. The circle again lights up, and you are transported to a different place. This time, instead of the golden sunlight surrounding you, there is almost no light at all. In fact, it's only because some of you have dark vision that you can make out the basic outline of columns surrounding you. After a few moments, Zinda, a flame flickers into existence in her hand, and she makes a little bit of a show of throwing it out at several different points, and torches in sconces light up around the room. She sort of casts this flame rapidly, quite casually, off different targets, and they sort of one by one, light up, casting a light across the room. And as it lights up, you can see beyond the gloom ahead, these walls. They are cast in shadow in some places due to the light being mounted on these columns and the shadows casting behind. But there are numerous murals and things you can make out. A lot of them are, well, certainly from this distance, are very indistinct, and you can't really make out any details of them at this point in time. But Zinda, having lit the way, turns on her heel and starts walking towards the towards one end, where there seems to be an altar of some description. Arriving at it, she walks behind, and against the back wall is a table set up with a number of apparatus. There is a few sort of racks of various drying herbs and things like that. There are a couple underneath the table. There are a number of heavy chests, a couple with quite incredibly thick-looking steel locks carved with a sort of silver runic filigree, which seems to be much more heavy-duty than you would potentially expect for something like this. But she takes all the ingredients from you and starts carefully grinding them down with pestle and mortar and things like that, and slowly mixing them together into pastes and adding ingredients one at a time before eventually pouring the whole thing into a small cauldron and kindling a small fire underneath as it slowly starts to bubble and boil away. Looks around at you and says, "This will take a little while to properly heat through and then prepare. It needs to heat. As it heats, it will change color. Once it is the appropriate color, we need to let it cool. Maybe another hour or so."
Alright. I mean, there's nothing we can really do in it.
While you are, I believe you would said you would prefer to try and resurrect your friend instead of reincarnate. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
problems with his race.
I explained to you the necessary components for this spell.
Yes, that's what, 500 GP in diamonds? Or diamond
1,000.
dust? 1,000 GP in diamond dust. Well, let's have a look.
The alternative is, well, you can go for... There are other spells that do not require the same power, but I mean, you know, potentially your chances of success are lower. You did tell me that Helga had already tried to something for Neo.
Yeah. Okay. Here's what we got. I think we worked it out last time. I'm pretty sure we have enough in just gold. But we have 435 gold. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I did. So in total, we we have 1,380 gold pieces.
You
Take
got
which
what? Sorry.
bid. That's 70.
Yeah.
56. We have 1,356 gold pieces. If we go somewhere and get all of our gemstones changed to diamonds, we have that much.
Okay. First you say, well, we do not need to worry about that. This is just, these are the consumed components of the spell. And she reaches down and takes one of the boxes with these heavy locks and lifts it up, putting it on. Waves her hand over one of these locks, muttering some arcane words, and it just pops open on its own. And she lifts the lid to reveal a relatively empty chest, but there does seem to be a reasonable amount of gold in there.
Oh, okay.
Well, if you will kindly deposit your money in here, then we can proceed safe assured.
I will put in the 1,000, giving us 356. This takes 356 gold. That takes away all of our silver and copper. 300
Neo
GP.
will offer basically all of his money if you want it.
All of that. Plus.
No.
No, this is for you. So you don't have to do it. Hold on.
He does argue quite strongly that if it's for him, he should be contributing.
No.
He did by being around.
Yeah. I have a question. In that underwater cave, there was purple and blue gems.
Mm-hmm.
Who took one? Or who took some?
My understanding was Styx, you had them all,
Yeah.
and there were
Cool.
8 of them.
Case. All of those are gone now.
Okay.
We are. Our Neo fund went from a lot of different crap to now just 356 gold.
Well, that's much easier for bookkeeping.
That is a lot easier for bookkeeping. We're broke!
You've still got 300 gold.
Okay, yeah, we still got 300 gold. That's still a decent amount of gold. But still, gold.
Mm-hmm.
But spending that amount of gold is a lot to deal with.
Yeah, that's
1,000.
So she quickly seals away the chest, puts it down, picks up another one, opens the magical lock, lifts the lid, and inside there are a number of pouches. And she takes out a couple of these and sort of counts them out and stacks them up, closes the lid, seals it up again, puts the chest away, and sort of pulls the strings at the top of this and just shows you inside that there are a variety of diamonds and diamond dust in them.
lovely.
Nice.
And so you have
That's exciting.
about an hour to kill. Is there anything anyone would like to do?
Hug Neo
I
and cry.
He'll give you
An
a
hour.
hug.
I need emotional support during these trying times.
Okay. Group hug?
My hand sticks
Oh.
the emotional support squid that I won.
Yes.
You cast Fine Steed.
That's fine.
Yeah? Not a problem. So you
Hell
take
then.
10 minutes and
I
this
need a hug.
glorious, irregular elk appears. Remind me of how you visualize Elvis the elk.
So it's basically regular fur. It's got like leaves, sort of like a autumnal. No, not autumnal. What am I? Like sort of quite brightly coloured leaves, sort of fur, and his antlers are made of just like what looks like just sort of like wood or like sort of just like sort of small sort of tree branches sort of coming up from its head.
A very impressive rack of antlers on Elvis.
Yeah. But otherwise, that's
Elvis has an impressive rack.
Well, yes, he's well. Yeah. So I have Elvis,
Okay.
and I will give him a hug, and then I will give Neo a hug, and I'll pull Neo into Elvis, and we will have a 3-way hug. The innuendos in this session are really.
What happens in the dark chamber stays in the dark chamber.
A noticeable interest in the leafy elk, and will sort of approach curiously. Looking up at it, she will reach up a hand and strokes the leafy neck, it's like rustling as she runs her hand over it, and looks over at you curiously, Sticks, and says, "Who was your mentor? Who taught you magic?"
Ooh, is that beef?
Wait, who taught me magic?
Yes. Who was responsible for your training?
Ooh.
I forgot the name I came up with for her. Shit.
Oh god.
Someone from where I'm from, a paladin such as myself, taught me the ways of converting dedication to the wilds into magic, I guess, in order to sort of protect them and protect people, I guess. It was a while ago now. I haven't seen her in ages. We should probably look into that. I'm sure it's all fine. It's only an undead guy running around setting everything on fire. Trees like fire.
My mentor still lives in my pocket.
Have you told us this yet?
I can't remember. I don't think I did.
I don't think you did. I think you just started talking to your rat and we all just accepted it. So hold the fucking... What? I know this is the first time, but what?
Carry on, Zinda.
What?
This is a dwarf, not a mouse.
I happen to think the mouse. Okay, hold on. I too have speak with animals.
Oh no! You're gonna have to get that Texas accent back.
Give me about 5 minutes.
Well, I would like to speak with animals. Little.
Okay, you cast
Hello.
Speak with Animals, and Arlo, scurrying around on Arwen's hand, sort of looks up at you with a quizzical eye, and you just get a fuck. I'll get this accent right in a minute.
Hello, partner. My name's Woody.
I was about to do that too.
This town ain't big enough for the both of y'all. You just get
We're in the orc
Squeak.
capital.
Squeak.
I think this town's big enough for plenty of us, and you're only a mouse.
squeak, squeak. You-
Is he saying squeak?
yeah.
You're a mouse.
Damn. You buying this?
I cast a spell to let me speak with animals. The animal can only say squeak.
Squeak.
You buying this?
No.
Damn. Promised Arwen I wouldn't talk to strangers.
So you're her mentor.
Aye.
Why does it
Well,
make so much sense now?
Well, you know, curses and whatnot.
I like cheese.
Yes. I have discovered a significant change in my tastes as I have transformed into this furry form.
Hold on. Why are you a mouse?
Oh,
What?
it's an old curse. Old family
Will-
curse.
It's a curse.
Yeah.
Zinda, while we're here, do you do curses? I figure we got 56 gold to spare. If everyone's cool, we could use it. I mean,
true.
Yeah.
yeah. Zinda, do you remove curses? Could we pay you? Apparently, this mouse has had a curse on it. Turn it into an animal.
Well.
This is truly a man.
Yes. Again,
Woo!
these spells are generally costly in their material components. I do not mean to try to pinch you for every penny you've got, but
Fine. We gathered all this money for Neo. We got a bit left over.
Depends how costly.
Yeah, depends how it costs.
Another 1,000 gold. We'll come back later. In another 10 years.
How much for a job?
Actually, no. Remove curse is not expensive at all. It's free.
Yeah, it is free.
Is it?
Yeah, I didn't realise that. I assumed it would be like Greater Restoration or anything like that, and have a gold component.
No,
So
it's only
scrap
like
that. Yeah, she was like, well, yes, I can help you out. She closes her eyes, and you may want to put him down. He's well. If I can infer correctly from what you've been discussing, he will soon not be so light.
Aww.
Jeez, man. First, we didn't want to put him down.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
God, dude, this is your gift. I'm joking.
So you
Put him
place Arlo on the ground. Zinda bends down and reaches out, just holding out a finger, just holds it steadily in front of his nose, and sort of looks up at the finger, his eyes just following it. She just waves it backwards and forwards very slowly, and his head sort of weaves and wobbles. And then, with a touch of her finger, there is Arlo starts to glow all over, his form dissolving into
He's radioactive.
into a small globe of pure light before this light starts to grow and change and shape, and it becomes the small figure of a dwarf before the light resolves itself. And standing before you is a dwarf. Arwen, would you like to describe the visage of Greydur, your mentor?
He's small and fat.
Okay. Anything else?
Kinda old. I don't know. I didn't think I'd see him for a while. He's got a big bushy beard that's white. And yeah, he doesn't look like a mouse anymore.
Yeah, so he looks relatively similar to the last time you saw him, except for he is much, much older. His time as a mouse seems to have aged him rapidly beyond his dwarf years.
Aww.
He seems to have aged up proportionally in dwarf years as he would have in mouse years.
Oops.
Oh.
Standing there, it's like sort of pats himself and it's like, oh well.
Hey.
Arwen. How, why? Oh, well, ain't this a turn up for the books?
Do you have a craving for cheese anymore?
I mean, I wouldn't say no if you've got a little bit kicking around.
I don't think he's fully cured.
Damn.
Does he still have a tail?
Hello, good sir. Now that I've completely wasted a spell slot, so has Zinda. Why were you a mouse?
Well, my family was cursed some time ago for various reasons. The non-payment of debts was one of them. I forget how many great-grandfathers it was, but was a awful stingy man. He contracted the wrong person to do a job and then skimped out on his tab, as it were. And subsequently, he's he and the rest of the descendants were cursed. We don't live as long as we might, and after 100 years or so, we are all transformed. It's not unpleasant, but gives you a sense of perspective when you've got to whistle through things, knowing your end is coming. In a way, it's kind of peaceful, you know. Knowing what lies ahead. Sometimes it's fear of the unknown can hold someone back, but knowing where you're headed, sometimes easier to get there.
Fair enough. Well, I must admit, you caught us at a rather bad time. My friend's about to die.
Assuming he knows all this.
Oh yeah.
But then could you understand us?
Yeah.
In my own way, yes.
I would have kept him up to date in the cabins in the evening.
Yeah.
So today
Would speak to me from time to time. What have you, which was nice. It was reminiscent of when she was training. She would, I'd get her to recite back everything she'd learned that day.
So you taught Arwen. Okay. Oh, So you must be pretty nifty with a bow and stuff, right?
He sort of raises his arms and rolls his shoulders like, well, I think that those days might be behind me. One of the side effects of being a small rodent is they don't tend to live long, and I think I'm suffering from what the common folk call old age.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Poor old man.
But who knows? I mean, I don't rightly know how old I am anymore. Could have been 50 years for me. Could have been 200. Who can say? Might
That's
find with
unfortunate. I thought
some food and
Clara,
some exercise. Perk right.
anything about Arwen. The dragon on your shoulder, is that a person too, or is that just dragon?
Arwen?
No!
Okay.
It's my
I'm
dragon.
sorry, I had to ask.
Well, I mean, I don't
What a
think.
Thing about.
I'm not untrusting. I'm just asking. When she had a mouse, we've travelled all up this goddamn land together, and I didn't know the mouse in her pocket was actually a dwarf. That would have been nice to know at some point.
While all this going on, Zinda just sort of casually just slips away and just extinguishes the fire underneath the cauldron. A little stir before just standing at a respectful distance.
Well, there we are. We've all learned something about each other today. Yeah.
Fun.
And to break the awkward silence, Pan.
Oh my god.
Six pulls out a set of pan flutes and quite expertly. What sort of tune are you going for here, Styx? You going for an
Heavy metal pan flutes.
uplifting melody, or a more somber tune for the occasion?
I'm going for a tune that was taught to me by my protector long ago. All this stuff about her protectors bring me back to my protector about just about something. A little pan flute tune.
Okay.
So here's Wonderwall.
Oh god.
As you're playing this tune, Zinda steps forward again and says, "Yes, very familiar. You say your mentor told you this.
Yes.
What was your mentor's name? I don't think you said."
I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, I was looking through some of this stuff this week, and I don't have it in the notes of your backstory that I've got from you. I don't have a name.
I think I sent you the notes about my brother and my dad, but not about her. So if you'll give me 1 second, me and you. Hold on. 1 second, I'll pick the first one up. Amaris.
Ooh.
Okay.
Amaris.
Allow me to add that to my notes.
Is now
How are you spelling that?
Amaris.
Amaris. Okay.
Protector of Three-Deal Forest.
Cinder sort of smiles a small smile to herself. An interesting meaning for her to choose.
Why? What? What? Yeah, you don't have to know another person by the name of Amaris.
No, but I think I know. I think I know who your mentor was by a different name.
What? What?
Who?
Very visible on Styx's face that he's kind of breaking down at the minute, like, who was she? Is she?
That is something you will have to find out for yourself.
No. This is sort of important.
If she is who I think she is, and I may be wrong, I may be jumping to conclusions, then... But that melody, the communing with nature, this magnificent elk of yours, all points in the direction of someone I knew a while ago. And she will have her reasons, and they will be her own, but her true name is something you have to work out for yourself.
Can we get a hint? Like, what does it start with?
Yeah, can I get a hint? A clue of some description?
She just sort of smiles and says, well, history is all around you. Turns and walks back over to the... and sort of puts her hand against the side of this little cauldron, testing the heat and things.
But Arwen already wrote in her book of names a little asterisk with her actual name. Like, I need to fill this part in. Please. I have an unfinished book.
Well, I really hope Styx doesn't die. Then you'd never find out who it was.
Oh, dear.
I can't have an unfinished book.
So she was someone before she was my mentor. Wait a minute, does that mean she was like me? Like, oh god.
Backstories and how you can mess with players by tweaking things.
Well, Styx is just gonna sort of curl up by his elk for a minute and just start pondering his intelligence in his brain.
I'll go pat him on the head.
Yeah, sitting on the floor, Elvis will come down and he sort of gently sort of rubs the top of your head with his snout. Just a soft sort of lowing, just coming from him.
I'll also go over and be like, I've been through it. It's okay, I understand. I didn't know my friend was a mouse. It was a shock to us all.
Wow. Today has been eventful. Neo isn't even dead yet.
I know. Well, it's killed an hour.
I wasn't ready for this. Is the hour up yet?
No, it's been 20 minutes.
We can skip to the end if there's nothing else anyone would like to do in this temple.
No. Not really.
Nothing for Styx. Arwen, anything for you?
I mean, not until the end.
Okay. Clary, anything you'd like to do?
I just investigate the area and see if there's
Yeah,
anything.
go for it. Make an investigation check for me.
We're in a temple after all, so it's quite interesting.
I'm having a breakdown. Arwen's got her new buddy who's now not a mouse. Clary's having a nose.
Oh!
We just have no intense nose around.
Clary's got her fingers in her ears, humming loudly, trying to ignore everything that's going on while she studies.
Distract me.
So,
Clary's life, to be honest. Like, shut up, I'm trying to read.
so you start walking around, and there is enough light for you to get a reasonable look at most of these murals, and you've got dark vision as well, which will help. And they are very, very old. You, a studier of history, Clary, can reasonably tell that based on the state that some of these are in, the stone is crumbling away in places that these have been carved from just simply through age. So there are large sections that are reasonably indistinct. However, with a natural 20 for a total of 23, you can piece together an incredible amount from this temple. This temple seems to predate anything you guys have discovered before, and tells a story. The orcs you have encountered and experienced, you have picked up on the fact that they like to tell through murals and pictures and stories. They don't write down a lot of recorded history, and whether that originates from this place, which could be the original place for them, you learn a lot of information. This temple tells the story of a war that took place long ago between some unnamed beings that look angelic in nature and another group that have been carved to look very demonic in places. In this war, the demonic devils and demons were cast down and defeated, and were locked up in a prison below the earth. Down, many layers down, this prison went. Locked in this fiery, infernal dungeon. And guards were laid over it. These beings that walked the earth, these powerful beings, had lieutenants and captains. And these captains were set to guard them. And over time, one particular lieutenant grew bitter and resentful as she felt sidelined. She grew bored and began to be influenced by those she was set to guard over. Her angelic nature was twisted, and she became more demonic, subjugating those within her power. eventually, she rose as the ruler of this prison, this hell domain, a dark and twisted version of her former self. There is another element. The story splits at this point, and while this figure is in hell, is ruling over hell, there is a period of prosperity and peace on the surface world, and into being come a variety of races. These angelic beings that seem to have won their war and reside
No,
over.
it's because my phone died. No. Shit. My phone is itself dead. What the?
Okay.
We missed the end of.
Yeah.
You said there was like peace while she ruled the Hell Domain or something.
Yes. So, on the surface, there was peace for a time, as these angelic beings were left to their own devices. They split the world up amongst them, each one residing over its own domain. And in their domains, different and diverse life prospered. And over time, these beings became symbols and ideals and were worshipped by their creations. And all the while, this figure down below was left unchecked, eager to avoid confrontation with the surface above. She kept warden over hell, eventually leading to an uprising against her, where she was cast down once more, and those she once imprisoned and ruled over now imprisoned and ruled over her, with a different king now on the throne of hell. He unleashed the doors and let forth the prisoners once more. And there was more war. The divine beings took up arms once more. However, there were vast numbers of casualties on both sides. The beings were victorious once more, and the King of Hell learned that to avoid the wrath of the beings above, he would release his forces in much smaller numbers, and so they worked to build secret ways out. And the demons and the devils would sneak out of hell in smaller numbers, using their powers to influence the world in small ways, and avoid bringing the wrath of those divine beings down upon them again. And that's what you get with your nat 20.
Oh damn. Guys, I think you should see this.
Yep.
I think I've just discovered how your world was created.
Oh,
Maybe.
this
Neat.
has been a heavy hour. Not gonna lie.
I think I need to sit down.
Harry is incredibly. She's the ancient history. She's over the moon.
The ancientest of ancient histories. The ancientest of ancient. Looks like we're all learning something about our histories today, folks.
I've got some theories.
You have some theories.
Harry has some theories.
Like?
She's wondering. So, never told you this. Did some reading a while ago. Neo had a bad dream. Long story. But I found out, like I'm assuming you guys know, the people don't have like a.
Yeah, they don't do the council thing. They don't.
So I'm assuming when the land was divided up between the two angelic beings, that's like each of the races' territory now. So what if we don't know anything of the Tiefling's territory because their territory is this like underworld? What if the demonic person what formed the Tiefling race?
Which means if he was found down in that hole, Neil, you need to die.
Bad.
No. I just mean that he needs to die so we can find out
Right,
more.
yeah, so then he can get his memory back. But that might mean... I don't know what you guys have been saying about Neo's dad. Obviously, Clary doesn't know much about that. But it could mean that his dad is the king of hell.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Because he got powers from the Hell Lady. Sorry.
The quality really reduced on your video image there as you went into what can only be described as the Red Bull butterfly. The butterfly on Red Bull.
Guys, I think we're a little in over our heads.
Bring any memories back. Any?
My entire thing is just protecting this one little forest somewhere. It's a lot of a process.
This is amazing. Like, we might be in the presence of a prince of hell. Like,
And that's exciting.
what if this means he was like there for like the creation of your world?
What if it means that we bring him back, we kill him, and he comes back and he's a prince of hell, Clary?
No, but he's good. No, because he was like...
Being a prince of hell inherently makes you a bad person. That is like rule number 2 of being bad person material. And rule number 1 is being the king.
Because he was
Maybe.
part of the Protectors. No. Oh my god. Sorry. Okay, I'm getting way into this. Okay. Because he was part of the... Because his dad said that Neo's part of a group called the Protectors, so he must have been part of the ones who were like, get back into hell, bitch. And like, so, you know... I'm having way too much fun.
Well, I think it's time to kill Neo.
Yeah. How's that potion looking? Is it ready yet?
At this point, Zinda will wander over and she'll just carefully runs a hand over the walls and says, this is,
It's a story I made up.
your theories have merit to them, but no one has ever quite been sure what story they tell.
Well, just you wait.
This
My
is
friend will tell you.
the most ancient history.
That is
My friend's ancient.
I know I'm getting on a bit. Oh no, you mean you right.
This temple, by the way, is massive. It's like from like, start to end, it's like 300 feet long and about 100 feet high and 100 feet wide.
Oh fuck! It's this tiny.
It is absolutely like think of like the scale of like Greek temples and stuff and how they were ridiculously huge.
Oh fuck!
So we got the ladder out.
It's small.
Just imagine Clary like doing the thing like wrapping like a scarf around one of the columns and like in Mulan, just, like getting up and like
What did I say?
yeah, very interesting. Makes notes, falls 10 feet in her excitement.
Around with everything, I just found out Clary's like climbing pillars.
Clary's doing Assassin's Creed of like.
Yes, Dix, we'll deal with your existential crisis in a moment. I'm studying history.
Gotta get this paper in by June.
Yeah,
that's a long time.
Zinda, it'll sort of, will say to you that yes, this is the most ancient history that we have. It tells a story, as you have discerned, for the most part, of two great wars and seems to be the origins of both the gods and the demons.
Fuck. Okay.
How much of this is accurate and how much of this is the storyteller's hyperbole is impossible to say.
Is this potion ready yet?
Yes, it should be ready by now. It should be cool. Come, Neo, lay down. There is like a... Neo climbs up on this hard stone altar.
Before we kill,
yeah.
just want to check your. Hey, that was a pretty big like bombshell.
That was
You might be the Prince of Hell, possibly.
Neo just sort of lies there, just like staring up at the ceiling, just like, well, I guess we won't know. I mean, are you guys sure you want this? Like,
I mean, I don't think.
What if Styx is right? And what if I am evil?
Nah.
Maybe we shouldn't do this.
Ooh, yes, no. You won't be evil.
I think we need, and I think won't be evil, because I mean, how could you be?
We know
We'll
you're
be
not
fine.
evil because your dad was like, "Oh, why won't you ever join me?" So you must be good.
Yeah,
Oh, maybe he is the Prince of Hell, but he like rebelled against his dad.
yeah.
Exactly.
Hold your memories from like these travels. You should be
Yeah.
alright.
I mean, that's
Neo
a pretty big.
sits up again and looks over to the other side where Zinda's like got like a ladle out and is like hovering with it, like, are we doing this or not? Guys, you keep flip-flopping here. And he's like, can you promise I'll remember everything that's happened since I was resurrected the first time? So honestly, no. This is a very unusual situation. I mean, normally these things are cut and dry. It works or it does not. for you to come back 50% of the way is the chances are infinitesimally small. This is unknown magic, and I am guessing it best, so I can't promise. All you have is hope.
You better remember, I swear to God. I will come for every last person.
What if we all give Neo like a little trinket of ours to remind him of us, and that he does forget. Maybe he'll remember and not be an evil asshole.
Oh dear Christ.
Oh my God.
I think that's actually not a bad idea.
I give him the fancy man shoes.
Oh.
Oh no!
So, slight sidebar. When I was helping Abby learn some of the stuff on her character sheet and what modifiers to roll and stuff, did a little scenario where she just went into someone's house and stole all their shoes.
No. All of their right shoes.
Oh, that's true. She went in and stole 3 of their right shoes and 1 left shoe, I think it was.
Yes.
Just to confuse them.
I thought stole that man's shoes for kicking the horse.
Yeah, he did. No, she did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was those shoes. Okay.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
are
it's those
fancy
shoes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
I give the
Neo.
fancy man shoes.
Neo, my darling, take my stuffed owlbear toy. Keep them.
Okay.
Can I give him the ribbon she uses to tie her hair?
Yeah.
Which seems cool, but it's a part of her like culture and her religion, the way she ties it. So.
I'm gonna cry in a minute. Cannot handle this.
Neo takes the ribbon and just reaches up and sort of wraps it around one of his horns and just ties it off. And he takes off his boots and
He's putting the fancy man
puts
shoes
the boots on. Yeah. Not really sure what to do with the owlbear.
It's a weird look.
Just sort of crosses his arms over his chest, and this tiny little stuffed owlbear head is sort of poking out about 4 inches, and just sort of lies back down and closes his eyes
Oh no.
let's do this. At which point Hugo flutters up off the floor and sort of just perches and stands on his chest and sort of claws slightly digging into the mail with little clinks as he steps over, and he just his long thin neck just sort of snakes down, and he just looks down at Neo and just looks him right in the eyes, and they just sort of stare at each other for a little bit before Hugo just gently breathes out, and this sort of green mist emanates from his mouth and just sort of washes over Neo. It doesn't look like the green sort of acidy fog you've seen him sort of breathe from time to time.
That would be
Bad. No.
It's
friendly,
It has
no.
this small shimmer to it, and it sort of settles over Neo's face before it seems to just sink in, absorbed in through his skin.
What is my baby dragon doing? You must tell me. Tell me.
At which point, Zim
Tell me.
walks over with a ladle.
Tell me.
So, are you ready? Yeah, just sort of nods. So she raises it to his lips.
We
The potion is...
like to drink with Neo because Neo is our mate.
Bad timing.
I need to relieve the tension somehow.
Neo takes a couple of big swallows of this potion. Puts his head back. Turns to the side and looks at you all on one side and just says, if it doesn't work, lay me to rest somewhere nice. Before his eyes sort of slowly just close and all his limbs just relax, and you see everything just, all the tension just floats out of his body, and he's just there relaxed. And this steady rising and falling of his chest, which has been reasonably quick, clearly, with the tension and the nervousness and all the revelations of the past hour flooding through him, and you see the chest the breath just start to slow, and one by one, just slow, and they get shallower and shallower, until at last there's just this final, just sort of, as Neo breathes his last.
Now bring him back. Hurry up now. Do it. I'm not crying. You're crying.
So Zinda reaches down and places her fingers upon Neo's neck, and then on his wrist, puts her ear to his mouth. He is gone. So reaches off to the side where she has laid these small pouches and starts taking them out and laying these crystals, these diamonds, in over Neo's body. There seems to be a variety of sizes. The size doesn't seem to be important, nor does necessarily the location, but she places them carefully in sort of the hollow of his throat. There's a couple of small ones on his eyes, in sort of the crooks of his elbows and things like that, where he's got his arms folded and things like that, and just delicately places these all over and around him, until finally she's got one last pout left, which pours this very fine dust out into her hand, and stands there with it in one hand, closes her eyes, and just is silent for a moment, and then this light starts to emanate from her, and she channels this magic, and this glow starts to build. Softly at first, this just gentle, almost candlelight, and then brighter and brighter and brighter, until standing at the head of the altar, looking down over Neo, she opens her eyes, and they are these pure, stark white, just solid, no pupil, no anything. They are a brilliant, bright white light glowing out of them. And she lifts her hands to her lips and just blows, and this fine dust just scatters over Neo's body, coming to rest over him. And as she does so, all the crystals on his body glow, and Neo looks, he's wearing in his dark clothes with his dark skin, he looks like the night sky, covered in these glittering diamonds. And then all the diamonds, all the gemstones that laid over him just slowly fade away into nothing. There is a brief pause. The light around Zinda recedes. Her eyes stop glowing. She sort of reaches out and grips the edge of the altar, clearly drained by the use of this magic. And as you're watching, Neo takes his first breath again and opens his eyes.
And
Neo. Hey, buddy.
Slowly he sits up and looks over at you all standing there. Arwen, Hugo, Clary, Styx, and Greydeer the dwarf.
That's the corner,
He just regards you all with just a deep, questioning look for a moment. Looks passing between you all as he scans over all of you. Head just cocks slightly to one side and says, "Who are you?" Before he just cracks a smile.
I hate him. I will kill him
Pushes
myself.
forward to embrace you all in a big hug. He's just like, sorry, couldn't resist.
Do that again. I cut off your head. Not a joke.
Oh,
No.
I'm so happy I'm gonna cry. Oh, no.
Do you remember anything?
At this point, he sort of lets you all go and just sort of sinks back against the altar, sort of just sitting down on it, just like, well, I'll certainly remember not to try that again in a hurry.
Oh yeah, death-like.
Not fun.
Oh, God.
Can't imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I've got an inkling that there's, I mean, forgive me, but something I've forgotten. As if anything that happened has been beyond. I'm not allowed to remember when I come back. But I do remember
You're
some
not allowed to
things.
remember death.
I do remember some things. Things are coming back to me. You might have to give me some time, but I think it'll all come back eventually.
Okay.
I'll tell you this one thing though. I'm not
Well-
Prince of Hell.
Oh, thank the gods.
I'm kind of relieved, but also, that would have been pretty cool.
Would have been really cool.
Oh.
He's the king of hell, you bastard! Roll initiative.
Only I can call for that.
Okay, and you two roll initiative. You're playing God now, boy. Okay. Well, I mean, we have to wait around for a couple of days for, like, his penalties to idle by.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're going on a giant hunt. We don't know where to find them. They're big, so they're really fucking big. Not much giant.
How exciting. Maybe we can ride one.
Yeah.
Maybe
Okay,
we should find Neo somewhere to rest.
agreed. Yeah.
Can I
let's go
ask him, quickly, what the hell did Hugo do to your face? No, there's nothing wrong with your face, don't worry. But what the hell did he do?
Don't know. That was Hugo's stuff.
Yeah, but I want to know. Hugo!
Does speak with animals work on a dragon?
I'm
No.
afraid, because dragons aren't. Speak with animals only works on beasts, and dragons are dragons, not beasts.
He just understands me, and I understand him.
He can communicate simple thoughts and emotions.
If I were to use the tech,
Hugo!
I mean, you can use detect magic, but
He just got resurrected.
the thing is, I mean, there's no longer any visual sign of what Hugo did, and so potentially, and even at the time, you would know that magic was being used, potentially, but you wouldn't necessarily know exactly what it did, other than learning the school of magic, which I believe detect magic tells you.
Okay.
Yeah, because unless you use something like identify, which tells you exactly what the magical abilities of a thing are. For example, if there was a door and it had a rune of abjuration magic on it, you wouldn't necessarily know what spell the rune was using per se, but you would just know what school it belonged to.
Okay.
well, that's another thing for Clary to research then.
Yeah, should we go find a tavern or somewhere nice to stay in while Neo gets some of his memory back and some of his debuffs gotten rid of. Yeah, let's go do that, and then we'll don't know, and then we'll go help these guys out with some giant stuff. I mean, I'm kind of interested to help out if some of things are going a bit thing, but although or at least see how things are going in that area. This is not over.
Okay, so Zinda will happily send you back. She will elect to stay for a while in the temple, do some sort of tidying up and what have you, and a little bit of communing with her deities. She tells you to offer thanks and things like that after they have granted her these powers to resurrect and have used them in such a way. But she sends you back. Sorry, what was that?
I would.
So thank you for your help.
Right, sorry.
But no one has said thank you.
Thank you for taking the heavy load of 1,000 gold off me for your services.
We get it because she's not like game. That's to cover the cost of the spell.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you very much, Zinda.
It's not a problem. I will need a few days to rest, but we will be alright. I will be alright, and I wish you good fortune. If you are interested in speak to Reshi, he will know what is going on. He will coordinate things for you if there is a need. Stay safe. And she will send you back to the castle at Hengistforsa. It is now quite late. The sun has gone down, and it is dark. Everywhere, the castle is lit by sporadically by torchlight. As not many people actually inhabit the building. but you can start looking around if you want.
Yeah, start looking. Somewhere to stay.
Yeah, you're looking for somewhere to stay?
Yes.
Okay. So you head down into the city, and again, it takes you a little while to get sort of through the residentials to the commerce district, as it were. There are a number of taverns available to you. You've got the Ship's Wheel. There's one called Leaning to Port, which does in fact seem to have moved on its foundation somewhat. The building itself is leaning at a very slight angle. There is also the Crow's Roost, and the Mother of the Waves.
Which one looks the fanciest?
The Crow's Roost looks the fanciest. It is this sort of 4-story tall, stands above anything else. It's quite ostentatiously built up high.
I think we deserve a treat. It's been a hard day.
After literally dying and coming back to life, you'll probably need to pretty dead.
Yeah.
Oh dear Lord.
As you're sort of making your way down, you do spot Sully, who is the excellent blacksmith you spoke to yesterday. She sort of gives you a wave before heading herself into the Ship's Wheel. Yeah, you enter. It is a quite sparse, so not sparse is the wrong word, quite empty. There are very few patrons to this establishment at the moment. Certainly in the common room itself, it seems. But it is very fine. There is very fine furniture. There is a very elegant bar set up with a large number of wines, bottles of wines, and various spirits and things like that, all beautifully presented on these shelves, highly polished and clear of any speck of dust or anything like that.
Oh,
Nice.
okay.
As you enter, a sort of fairly young orc walks up to you. He's very finely dressed, very clean, sort of velvet blue doublet and things. Stands there with one arm behind his back. But how can I help you? Are you looking for rooms for the night, or are you just in for a meal?
Both.
Room. Oh, both.
Both. Of course, both. I'm hungry.
Of course.
From big spenders.
How many rooms would you like?
Bender.
How much they cost?
Yeah, how much?
Well, our basic rooms start at 10 gold for the night and go all the way up to 25 gold per room.
How much is it for like 2 people in one room but 2 separate beds?
Well, the rooms are, if you wish for a double room, that is the same price. However, you can fit 2 in a bed. He says all this with the expression of explaining that 1 + 1 is 2.
Thank you for the maths, but I don't want to sleep with my friend here.
Well, then it looks like you will be requiring your own rooms.
That's
Put that
rude.
money
Elvis
left
is very
in the-
cuddly.
Put the money left
Bless
in the fund.
Oh yeah, we do. Might as well use the Neo Fund to celebrate the fact that Neo isn't dead.
Whoop, whoop.
Here's what I'm thinking. We all get fairly basic rooms. Neo gets a fancy one. And we all get food.
Yeah. I think that sounds like a good
Sounds good.
Cool. That is 3 basic rooms and 1 of your best rooms in the house.
Well, 3 basic rooms starting at 10 gold each, and then 1 premium room at 25 gold will be 55
Yes.
gold.
Perfect.
Oh, easy.
And
Easy,
Neil
mate.
will insist upon paying.
No.
No. No, you died today. Okay? You don't know. This is the money we literally saved up for you. Trust me, we'll spend the rest of it however we want. But we need to treat ourselves, damn it. We've been in underwater temples and we've fought friggin' like coral zombies. And God knows what. Okay? We're on a boat for
Been a
goddamn
hard
forever.
day.
It's been a long day. Oh no, we probably need a room for the dwarf.
Oh, I was gonna ask him if he wants to like do his own thing because he's kind of free now. He's not like a squashable mouse.
Oh yeah.
Yes, so Greedo will sort of say to you, well, Arwen, it's, I mean, I never really thought I'd get to say goodbye. You never really know how things are going to turn out, but,
Not again. I can't cry again, please.
it's been a mighty fine pleasure adventuring with you, but I got a second chance, and I need to take that. And I don't really think these old bones are going to be much use where you're headed.
Oh, I hug him because I will cry.
I mean,
I'll hug.
I also don't want to be too presumptuous, but I am kind of skipped. I ain't got much
Oh,
more on the
yeah.
clothes on my back, if you know what I mean.
Do you want like 10 gold or something? I don't know. How much is a lot of gold? I don't know. How much gold do you want?
I mean, just enough to get me started. I can probably make my own way. I still have some life in me left. I'll work out somehow.
How's about giving 50 gold from the Neo Fund? Then we're at 250.
Great idea.
Boom.
Okay, and give him 50 gold. He's like, well, with all due respect, I think I need.
So we were on 301 gold, and that's just irregular.
Okay,
So
51 gold. Well, that's mad value, but with all due respect, I'm gonna go find somewhere a bit more within my budget, if you know what I mean. It's you guys enjoy yourselves.
Let me know if you need anything, my dude. I will be around.
Mm-hmm. And with that, turns and walks away.
Oh, I need a new pet. Where's that toad?
Jesus Christ.
Give us a toad.
Oh, I'm really upset. I have to take Arlo the mouse off of my item list. That's actually... Oh, my God.
Oh no! So sad.
This is where you get to reveal to the party that your mouse is actually a transfigured dwarf.
Oh, I'm so sorry!
It's fine. I've still got Hugo. It's okay. It's fine.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, and then
Get him back here.
Neo. Just make him back into a bus. Neo, did you leave your shoes in the other place?
No, Neo
Yes, he still
took his shoes, and it seems like he'll probably change back into them as these fancy boots are a little unfit for some of the heavy walking and heavy duties you potentially have against you ahead of you.
You keep those fancy man shoes safe.
For another day.
You are shown up one floor, and the three of you are given keys to some very fine-looking rooms, and there is large double beds in each. Each comes with its own fireplace and two chairs, two sort of wing-back chairs in front of it, with a small coffee table to sit down. So each room could almost serve as its own, a place to stay long term if you wished. And then Neo is led off up to his room.
Have fun being a fancy man.
Alright.
Yeah. So
Well.
he gets the room. He promptly comes back down, feeling rather awkward about the whole thing. Sort of knocks on one of your doors, and as you all gather up, says, "What are we going to do about food? Because I'm starving."
We're gonna get
3-course
food
meal.
here.
3-course meal. 3-course meal.
3-course meal. Absolutely sloshed. We got 250 gold to go.
Oh, we can get so drunk.
Yeah. So you head back down. You head back down to the common room, and again, I was greeted upon your return. Did you say you've after meals for the evening?
Yes, please. And drink too.
Of course. What would you like to drink?
Booze.
Something
Could you be more
alcoholic.
specific? We have many fine wines here. Several strong ales. We have several honey meads from the. I believe it comes directly from the honey of the bees in the sky. Highly prized.
Take one of those. I'll take one of those. Sounds lovely.
Of course. One for each of you.
Is it strong?
It comes in various strengths.
I'll take it strong.
Okay. I think we have 3 different strengths at the moment. Would you like a glass each, or would you like a bottle for the tip?
A bottle each.
You can see when you say a bottle, like he's got this fairly serious expression. When you say a bottle, it's just sort of eyebrows, just sort of. And then when you say each, they almost like disappear off the top of his head.
We look like common muck, and he's just like.
He has been judging you hard since you arrived.
Fantastic. I love it.
So a bottle each will set you back 32 gold.
What, for 4 bottles
For
or?
4 bottles, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I thought it was 32 each.
Okay. 250.
Yeah, and so
218.
So you are shown to a table, and promptly 4 bottles and 4 glasses are brought to the table.
Hell yeah. Is there some bread to start? I need to line my stomach.
Yeah, it's rather a novel experience, as none of you have ever experienced restaurant dining really before. So having things brought to the table is you're saying, I think this is how the posh folk live.
I could get used to this.
Yeah.
I like it, but I also really hate it. But I
Fine
also
dining.
kind of like it. So I do not approve of anything that's going on here. But I like the fact that I have 3 forks.
True.
So you sit there and you start pouring out your drinks and things, and this very bright amber-looking liquid is poured out of these dark-coloured bottles. It smells sweet, almost sickly sweet to begin with. And as you take the first sip, there's a very strong honey flavour. But as you swallow it, it sort of shifts into this smooth, sort of smoky oak flavour in the back of your throat. It has a slightly bitterness to it that tempers the initial sweetness very, very nicely as it goes down. But it is also incredibly strong.
Yeah.
This isn't like a 70% spirit like you'd get now. It's like double proof wine or something. It would be like the equivalent of like a 30% alcohol.
Yeah, but we got a bottle, so it's fine.
So it's drinkable, but it's strong.
We're gonna get there.
Oh dear Christ.
Yes, then another foreign concept is brought over to you all as you all get what you are informed is a menu.
I don't know if this is a terrible time to tell you all, but I genuinely cannot read.
Wait, what?
Oh, and you would be able to read.
Arwen can't read.
I mean, if that's a decision you want to make, then fine.
Arwen can't read.
You're gonna have to.
Telling
Okay.
me this way and you can't read.
No.
Is there anything else? Any other bombshells you would like to drop at any point?
No. Well, maybe
Cool.
later. But not today.
Oh, dear.
I could teach you to read.
Oh, thanks.
Oh.
God, I have to.
Class is in session.
I mean, not like right now, but
So
Um,
you can order an opulent range of dishes. I won't go to the effort of coming up with a menu on the spot.
Why not? I want to hear the specials.
But basically, it boils down to about 4 gold a course.
Ooh.
And there is a starter, a main, a dessert, a cheese course, and what is listed as just a series of liqueurs is just a chaser course of like coffee liqueurs and things like that.
Ew, coffee.
oh, sounds awesome. For me, I'm not just thinking.
So if you want to, you can have a number of courses that you like. You can sample multiple times from a single course if you wish. If you want to double down on the cheese platter, for example.
Oh, I want 5 desserts.
You want 5 desserts. Anything else?
No.
I don't really know
Okay.
foods gonna have what she's having.
The waiter,
Food
is
is
just
general.
there, just like, of course, 10 desserts for the party of 4. Anything else?
How many courses would you like? And what courses?
I missed. What's everyone else having?
So, me and Arwen are having 5 desserts each. because this is you get to live out your wildest dreams.
And if there's some breadsticks, I'll have breadsticks too.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna have breadsticks because if I can't have them, at least sticks can.
Oh, that is so sad. Living out your wildest fantasy of being able to eat bread.
Oh, dear.
And
so far,
is all about, isn't it?
that is-
having money, eating bread. all those things you can't do at the moment.
Yeah, you get that bread.
Eating desserts.
So, Carrie, what would you like?
Very well, listen.
5 desserts.
What you guys have?
I thought you said lasagna.
Okay. Neo
All
would
5
say-
courses.
Neo will just say, well, when in Rome, and just is sort of snap the same, and just hands. So you can all mark off 20 gold for your 5 desserts.
Excellent. Hold on. That's 20 gold times 5.
Times 4.
4.
And Neo
That's
will
80.
pay
80.
for it.
Okay.
No, he won't.
Okay, Neo won't pay
This
for
is
it.
literally your calm down.
It's good.
So we now have
Part of this money is going to go to him anyway, because we'll split it
exactly.
like at the end. So
And what a
he
memorable
needs to.
see.
So,
Also,
and
I would like to point out that we got from 1,300 gold to 148 gold in about 6 hours.
I mean, not even.
Nice.
It's about an hour at this rate.
Never
Nice.
mind.
You're plowing through it. So, one last question, effectively. Would you like it all at once, or one at a time?
Ooh, that is a question.
One at a time.
One at a time. Yeah.
Okay, so over the course of a couple of hours, as it takes you to slowly eat your way through this, they bring out a range of desserts. The first one is a fairly plain fruit pie. It tastes excellent. All the food here is delicious, but in terms of grandeur, it's quite basic. You know, just a sort of a warm fruit pie with custard.
1 out of 5. Next.
Jesus. The next one they bring out is a fairly simple looking ice cream to begin with. Each is like 3 scoops of these different colours. But when you spoon it into your mouths, each one has its own little like tang to it that causes like a sort of like a fizzling and sort of popping sensation in different ways to it's almost like it's fizzy in a way.
3 out of 5. Next.
Jesus. The third one is just they don't bother like dividing up, they just bring out an entire platter of profiteroles.
Oh.
And like 'cause you get the sense that normally they just like put a few in a bowl and they just bring out this entire thing. It's got this like heaped mound of it and just put it in the centre of the table for you.
10 out of 5.
10 out of 5.
So, at this point it almost seems like a challenge, as if they're not expecting you to finish it.
Oh, I love a challenge. This is my
Bring it
time
on.
to
Yeah,
shine.
you think to yourself, surely that can't be. If you divided that by 4, surely that's not the amount they give an ordinary person. at this point,
Yeah, we're not ordinary people.
you've had three reasonable courses, so you're feeling relatively full. But you reckon you've got some more room.
We haven't eaten properly in a while, let's be honest.
This food is incredibly rich.
I know, we are wealthy now.
The fourth one is this kind of sort of like fondant cream tart type thing. It has a biscuity pastry type base with this thick cream topping scattered through with 3 different types of sauce. There's like a strawberry, an apricot, and a mango. I think you can determine. Sort of like swirls through, giving a nice
4 out of 5.
And then the final
Pleasant.
comes out, and it is just this enormous cake. This thing
What kind
is
of cake?
6 inches thick and covered in icing. And in the top of it, there is a giant sparkler.
100 out of 10.
Huge chocolate cake to the table. Just lay it down. This is the sort of thing that, like, in a restaurant, the restaurant gets like 8 to 10 slices out of as an individual serving, and they just put the whole thing on the table for the crazy people who have ordered so many desserts. The chef is just going to have at it.
Nice.
This is probably
Can
more sugar
dragons
than
eat
stick.
chocolate cake?
Yes, of course they can.
Good. He has a little bowl to himself.
His dragons can eat chocolate cake.
Aww.
Hey, this is kind of like not the Last Supper, but the First Supper for Neo.
Aww. So cute.
So you are
Well, this
all
was fun.
incredibly stuffed. You had an incredibly rich meal. And enjoyed yourselves immensely.
Absolutely.
At one point, Neo does slip away, just saying he's going to use the bathroom. Comes back a few minutes later.
800.
Yeah,
Tactical is fine.
as the evening goes on, you're all getting more
When he does.
more drunk.
When he does, can I roll an insight check to see whether he's really going to the bathroom? Or whether
Yeah, so I would say this.
Right.
Between the 4th and 5th course of this meal, how much of your bottle of mead have you drunk at this point?
probably quite a lot. Styx hasn't really got drunk before, so he has no restriction.
Okay, make a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage then.
+5 to con saves. It worked so well last time.
Yeah. So Styx, you are rightly hammered at this point. And for a brief moment, you're not sure if 2 Neos have left the table before they resolve back together. Neo, for his own bit, is a little unsteady on his feet. But yeah, roll an insight check, again at disadvantage for being hammered. You don't know what it is, but you don't believe what Neo says that he's just going to the bathroom.
Neo. Neo. That's a good name. Neo, my good friend. Where are you really going? Get to the bathroom.
Go to the bathroom, hang on. something you want to ask later.
Ah.
I've got some. I need to ask the waiter too. And you know what? I also no, don't. Let's go.
Okay, so you both get up and circle
The
around
roll.
To the bar. At which point Neo orders you another drink. And he orders around for the table and leaves you to carry while he quickly nips off under the pretext of using the bathroom again.
Fine, I've got this. I'm gonna put them all on my shield. And then I'm gonna carry the shield to the
Okay.
table.
I thought you were gonna just
Handed them on a
frisbee it.
tray.
I
Just
was.
the same. I just like the image of sticks being so hammered. Just like, thank you for the tray. Onto the shield they go. And he's got that wide-eyed openness that when someone's drunk and they're trying really hard to do something, so their eyes are really wide and they just really slowly onto the shield. And so on. And so it takes you about 2 minutes just to load up your drinks.
Now you stay. I'm gonna ask that question, and you need that question. But I will be back without these drinks.
Who are you talking to? Are you talking to the bartender?
No, I'm talking to Neo.
Oh, Neo is gone.
But
Neo has taken advantage of your distraction and has neatly sidestepped and gone to do whatever he's up to.
Bastard. Right. Yeah. Lift up the drinks. Walk over. Down the hall. Then there's a door on the left, and someone comes out the door very, very suddenly. It's just a waiter. The Sticks gets very, very terrified and pulls his shield back to actually use it to defend himself, dropping the drink.
There is just a shatter of glass.
My alcohol.
Not to worry, sir, not to worry. Are you alright? Go sit down. I will clean this mess up.
Okay. And I sit down exactly there. Oh, you meant yeah. Right. Cool. I just sort of
helps you up to your feet.
Roll.
Come, let us find your friends, sir. We will sit you down here. May I suggest water for the rest of the evening? Good, tasty water. And he goes to take your bottle of mead that's got sort of a couple of fingers worth left on the bottom. Done with this, aren't we?
No. No.
Okay,
Paid good money for that.
Just puts it back down. Just you can just see the rising dread sort of within him of what is he going to have to deal with later. What state is this man going to leave the room in? Yeah. And Neo gets back to the table. I think by the time Six has done this and sat on the floor, Neo is already back at the table. Awaiting your return. And sort of helps you back into your chair, seeing you weaving and staggering towards the table.
Well, I asked. Said, well, I asked my question. Punk.
So, at the end of the meal, the waiter comes over and says, there has been a slight problem with your rooms. You will need these keys instead. These are your new rooms. And hands you all 3 new keys.
What did you do?
When you look at them, all the keys have a number on them, which corresponds to the room, and they are now different to the rooms you had previously. And so, starting to find your way back upstairs, you realise on the first floor, where you were all staying previously, none of the rooms match. On the second floor, you look at them, and none of the numbers match. You go up to the third floor, and you find your rooms.
At this point, Styx is sliding up the stairs on his bum.
I think someone might have actually everyone make a Constitution saving throw at this point to determine how
Hammered.
Arwen is drunk. I mean, Styx, you're already smashed, so.
What am I doing?
Constitution saving throw. Oh, but you're within 10 feet of me, so everyone gets a +4. Haha.
I mean, it's only a 10 for Arwen, so she's definitely drunk.
Still hammered.
Clary isn't hammered, but is definitely buzzed with a 14. So Clary is probably the one effectively doing the heavy lifting at this point. Trying to lift, like, with an arm around Styx, trying to get him to keep going. But on the top floor, you find that Neo has snuck off and paid for the most expensive rooms for you all.
Aww.
I give him a drunk hug.
A drunk hug.
You know, one of those, I love you, you're the best. You're the best. Thank you.
Yeah, bring this about tonight.
Oh,
A nice, expensive, warm bed in a nice, expensive hotel. And you can all take a nice, long rest.
nice.
That is in level 1.
Oh, I can get my spell slot back. How exciting. I can talk to more frogs tomorrow.
And I think that is the best point to end it there.
Fantastic.
That was incredible.
Oh,
Everyone, next week we'll find out quite how hungover everybody is.
Very.
oh dear.
Which I'm sure
Turns
will
out
also
I'm not doing anything. For while Neo recovers from literally dying and come back to life, everyone else recovers from a hangover.
Until next week.